this video I'm going to show you how I customized a wooden hand with some old school tattoo drawings. The idea for this project came from my love for old school tattoos, which are also known as traditional or American tattoos. These are the kind of tattoos that you can see on sailors, bikers and rockers, with bold lines, bright colors and iconic symbols. One of the most influential figures in the development of old school tattoos was Norman Collins, better known as Sailor Jerry. He was a sailor and a tattoo artist who learned from the masters of Japanese tattooing and adapted their techniques to create his own style. He innovated the use of electric machines, sterilization methods, and new pigments. He is considered one of the fathers of modern tattooing, and his legacy lives on in many artists and enthusiasts today. The first step on the process was sketching the designs. I used Pinterest to get some inspiration and ideas for the tattoos, and then I used Procreate on my iPad to draw them. I tried to keep the sketches simple and clear since the wooden hand is not very big, and I wanted to avoid making the tattoos too crowded or messy. For my father, who loves sailing, I chose a classic old ship tattoo with a banner that says Grandpa. I added some waves and clouds to give it some movement and depth. For my mother, I chose a rose tattoo with a banner that says Grandma. I added some leaves to make it more realistic and contrast with the red color of the petals. For my cat, I chose a cat tattoo with a banner that says her name, Tina. I added some flowers to make it more cute. And for my wife, my daughter and me, I chose an old school heart tattoo with a banner that says family. I added some flames and a dagger to make it more dynamic and symbolic. The next step was to create the stencils for the tattoos. I used some transfer paper on a light table to trace the design from the iPad to the paper. I carefully traced each design onto the paper, ensuring that every line and detail was faithfully reproduced. I cut out the shapes and placed them on the wooden hand, making sure they fit well and were aligned. I used some tape to secure them and prevent them from moving. The next step of the process was transferring the sketches to the wooden hand and doing the line artwork. For this, I used a wood burner, which is a tool that heats up a metal tip and allows you to burn the wood different shapes and effects. I used a fine tip to trace the outline for the tattoos. This was a bit challenging because the wood burner is very hot and you have to be careful not to burn yourself or the wood too much. Also, because the tattoos were so small, I had to be very precise and steady with my hand. I made some mistakes and burned out some parts that I didn't want to, but I fixed them later in the coloring part. Before moving on to the coloring part, I want to take a moment to talk about my t-shirt of the month. This time I want to show you my t-shirt Just Vape, which is a reinterpretation of one of the illustrations of the modernist artist Alphonse Mucha. I wanted to twist it and make it more contemporary, so I replaced a cigarette with a vape and changed the colors and the details. If you like this t-shirt, you can find the link in the description below. Now let's go back to the wooden hand and finish it with some colors. For this I used acrylic paints and small flat brushes. As the old school tattoos, I wanted to use bold colors and a limited palette: red, blue and yellow. I also used some white and black for the highlights and the shadows. In this part I could fix some of the issues that I had with the wood burning by covering the unwanted burns with the paints, but I also had some issues with the acrylics because I used them too diluted at the beginning and they didn't cover the wood well. The wood quality of the hand is not very good and it absorbs the paint too much. So I had to use the acrylic with almost no water to make them more opaque and vibrant. Then I started to add some shadows and highlights to the tattoos to make them more realistic and appealing. I used darker colors to create contrast and depth, and brighter colors to create some shine and volume. And if you want to see another video where I customize a Gibson Les Paul guitar using the wood burning technique, you can click on the link. My name is Daniel Columna, and I will see you very soon. Adiós.